This is a very simple kid-friendly recipe of cream biscuits. In our ingredients, we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 1 cup already in the bowl, and I want to show you how to measure the flour. You just dip in your measuring cup and level it off, and that's it. So here we have 2 cups of flour. And then our other ingredients, we have half a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. So all that goes in. And then we're going to mix that so it's well distributed into the flour. Next I have 1 cup of cold, heavy whipping cream. It's 1½ cups. I probably may not need all of it. And see how I'm making a well? So I push some of the flour to the sides, and there's a well here, and I'm going to pour all but about a 1/4 cup in here, because I don't know if I will need all of it. So just eyeballing it. Yeah, let's say about that much. It's about 1 1/4 cups. So I'm going to just quickly mix it in. With biscuits and quick breads like this, you want to work the dough as little as possible. So we're just mixing it until all the dough seems to be moistened. So it looks pretty good. See that? And fingers are actually best tools. I'm going to go in there with my hands now. And this is something great for the kids to get involved with, because they can do this part. As long as the fingers are clean, you just don't want to overwork it. So maybe just a smidgen more. Kind of have to go by feel. Just a smidgen more, just so it holds together. See, it's a little dry there, so I could use a little bit more, just for it to hold together. And then we have biscuits. Done. All right. So I'm going to put it out on this board, and your board needs to be floured. So you take a little bit of flour. Don't put much. You don't want much. You don't want to add too much more flour. We're just going to dust your surface, and then we're going to dump out all of the dough. We're going to press it. So just work it so it sticks together. All sticks together. Like this. Now you don't even need any kind of special rolling pin. Just really need to use your hands, and you can press it into a rectangle. And I like to just use the heel of your hand. Little fingers might need a little help in doing this part. And let's say we want to get about, just try to make it square. It's not necessary, just for aesthetics. There, that looks good. Now you can go in there and you can use a round cutter to cut out your biscuits, or even simpler, so that there's just no waste, you can just go in here and cut it into squares. So let's say we want to get 8. So let's divide this into 8, roughly. That's why I love this bench scraper. You get 8 biscuits this way. There. Done. Now I'm going to just put it on a baking sheet that I have this silicone liner on it. If you don't have a silicone liner, then you can either spray some cooking oil on it, or parchment paper is best. Lay these out, a little room in between. And then the last step, we're going to take a tablespoon of butter that's been melted and just brush it on the top, just to make it extra yummy and to help browning. Bake these in a preheated 375-degree oven for about 12 minutes. Okay, so here's the finished biscuits. Nice and brown, lightly browned. And if you have some butter that's still left over from your melted butter, you can go back in, just put a little more. I call that gilding the lily. You don't have to do this, but what else are you going to do with that leftover butter? There you go. Ready to eat. And these are best eaten piping hot, straight from the oven. If you're not going to serve it right away, you can flash freeze them and just take them out right before you want to serve and reheat them in the microwave or in the oven. And there you go, cream biscuits.